Hello. So, most people, when they install their Nvidia driver, they're like, hey, I need to see what the best settings are for the Nvidia drivers or the Nvidia settings. So we're gonna go over that right now. So what I just did last video is I actually debloated the Nvidia drivers, so we're only using the bare basic display. We don't have shadow play, we don't have telemetry, we don't have GeForce Experience. We don't have gaming overlay. We don't have a lot of things, and that is definitely going to help with performance. So right now we're in the control panel, and we're going to go to the first option here, which is the adjust settings with preview. We're going to go ahead and full screen this. So you can either adjust this from here, you can let the 3D application decide, or you can go ahead and now there are settings that you do have to change in the control panel, which we're actually going to end up doing. So we're going to use advanced 3D settings. I'm going to hit apply for that. So we're going to go to advanced 3D settings now, and what we're going to do is we're going to change some of these. Now, if you want to do some scaling or some sharpening, you totally can. And I'm probably going to put this right here. Do not turn this on because, well, your GPU has to use more power for all the scaling, and it's pretty much going to handle all the scaling kind of for you instead of letting your display handle it. Now, the scaling for the GPU does look nice, but I wouldn't use it, especially if you're using kind of like a lower power GPU. This GPU isn't like low powered. I mean, it is like a low powered one, but it's like a like gigabyte. It's a 1050 Ti. It has 4 GB in it, and it's not a bad card at all. So if you're using like say like a GT 1030, then you would probably not even use scaling. So ambient occlusion, we could probably put this at performance. Kind of put that there. Most people just say turn that off, but we'll put it at performance. We're gonna keep filtering here. We're gonna keep a lot of the stuff application controlled. So we're gonna do that application controlled. This is going to be you can either turn this on or off. I'm gonna keep it off for now. Gamma correction, we're gonna keep that on. This is gonna be application controlled. Transparency, just keep that off. Everything on background application max frame rate. Now, this one I think this one's new. I have no idea. So, set the frame rate to render a game or 3D application running in the background. So if you Alt tab out, that will be you switch to a different like app or something. So you can either tweak with this if you want to, or you kind of don't want to. CUDA GPUs, just set that to that. Yeah, DSR. Don't use DS. I mean, you can if you want to. If you want to like play in a higher resolution to where the you can play it like say 4K and it will downscale it down to 1080p to fit your monitor or TV or whatever you're using. Low latency mode, I will turn this on. You can put it at ultra if you want, but I just turn it on. OpenGL rendering, I'd turn that just to 1050 Ti or whatever card you have. The stuff, just leave it off. Max frame rate, you're not going to be using max frame rate. You're going to keep that kind of uncapped. You're going to control your max frame rate like in games because certain games have settings where you can adjust the frame rate cap. That's what we're going to do. So power management, you can use optimal power or you can use adaptive or whatever. This helps save power the 3D applications that don't demand the graphics card maximum capabilities. I would just turn this on maximum performance just because now I would recommend that, but at the same time some people don't keep it on maximum performance. They kind of keep it on adaptive. I would just do it anyway. This is going to go on you can probably put this on clamp if you want. I'm going to end up putting on clamp. This one we're probably going to you can do high quality or you can just do I'm just going to do performance. So it's kind of in the middle. Performance. I don't want high performance. Turn that on. This one we can actually turn on or off. The settings should be turned off in most older application. I would just keep this on auto because older applications can some applications can use it and some can't, and also there can be some FPS issues when it comes to that. Triple buffering, you can either turn this on or off. This is for OpenGL applications, so if you're playing like say a game, You turn this setting on, improves performance when vertical sync is also turned on. So if you're playing like say like Dead Cells or something, you're playing OpenGL, then that can help. So we're gonna keep most of this stuff pretty much what I've changed. Okay, we hit apply. Everything else gonna go ahead and apply. Now we're gonna go to configure surround or physics X. We're gonna go ahead and just do go ahead and do that. Even though we don't have physics X installed for this NVIDIA driver, since the last video we've deep-loaded it and tweaked that. Change resolution. Make sure your resolution's at your refresh rate. Mine is 60 hertz, 1080p. I am going to be changing this setting right here. Put that on full. You can do whatever you want over here. You can change it to however you want. This makes your screen a bit more darker, and it makes things kind of colors look a little more, actually look better. You can just keep this on default if you want, but I would recommend just doing it on full. Yep, so that's what I did. It does look a little bit better. I think it does. Color settings, you can tweak with these if you want. Rotate displays, you probably don't need to do that. Audio, you can do HDMI, or you can completely turn off the audio if you want. This is where we can do some scaling. You can do a full screen scaling, or you can do no scaling. I'm probably going to end up doing full screen. And I have to hurry up and grab my remote. Alright, scaling is good. I think we're still recording, right? I got a notification. Encoding overloaded. Consider turning down the video settings or using a faster encoding preset. Okay. Shouldn't be too bad. I mean, we should be fine. Yeah, we should be fine. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just minimize that. That was kind of a fail. Alright, and then just keep everything else. Everything else can just be on non-default. So that is pretty much the settings for your NVIDIA settings in your control panel. There's other settings that you can do. We're going to open up Furry Fox or Firefox. That's what Music calls it, Furry Fox. We're going to look up NVIDIA Profile Inspector. We can go ahead and download the Profile Inspector from. This one will tell us kind of our. It's pretty much like GPU-Z, but a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and install to the mirror. And then we're going to wait for the install to happen, and then we'll just go from there. Some of this stuff is not really that necessary, because you don't really need NVIDIA Profile Inspector, but there are settings that we are going to change. Downloads. So make sure you're using 7-zip to extract that file. You could just look up online and install 7-zip. It's open source. It's easy to use. Don't pay for any zip software encoding stuff. So I would recommend just getting 7-zip because it's easy. Don't pay for WinZip. So here we are. This is our this is pretty much the graphics card here. Tells us everything. Tells us our vendor. Tells us the memory type. It also tells us the current clocks and even tells us the boost clocks, the memory clocks. We can even show overclocking. So what we're gonna do is you can also do sensor monitoring over here. MSI Afterburner also has that too, so you can go ahead and exit and tweak that out. So you can also show overclocking. You can do overclocking from here if you want. So yep, that is what. I don't know why it installed that one, but you can use that tool if you want. I'm gonna go ahead and just uninstall it. So that's it for some NVIDIA settings that you can do. Next video, I'm probably going to do some CPU settings or inside Windows settings that you can tweak. So I'm going to get to that, and that's going to be a pretty good video. So hope you enjoyed.